I'm messing about in the Badlands today, and one thing that always makes me sad is that Badlands don't have villages. Deserts do, but Badlands don't. So it's time for a Mesa makeover. We are going to turn this into this absolutely gorgeous Badlands Mesa Village. Different coloured houses, beautiful scenery, a full port, completely populated, and a crane on the right hand side. And I am going to be making this up mostly as I go along, although I do have some ideas in my head. I'm going to take you through a number of them step by step, and then I'm going to time lapse the rest. So if you do enjoy the video, please do hit that like button. It costs you absolutely nothing and it really helps out the channel. And also, if you haven't done it already, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any more of my content. And I might as well go all in and say leave me a comment as well. I'd be really glad to hear what you think of it. Let's crack on. Now, most of the village is going to be made up of this shape, but I am going to have to be really careful, otherwise it's going to be proper boring. So it won't all be square, there'll be rectangles, different heights, that kind of thing too. But it's pretty much going to be based on a terracotta palette. So let's get ourselves a basic idea. I'm just going to build up a bit of a square house, and I'm going to leave a hole at the front there too high, which will be the wall. We also need to get some windows in there, although not all of them are going to have windows, because I'm not just going to have these kind of separate all over the place. I'm going to intertwine them, and I'm going to be putting them into the mountainside. I think that's what I want to go for. The windows are going to be too high though. We're going to bring these all the way around it until I've got a box that is maybe 4 blocks high. Actually went 5 high because of those 2 high windows, and as boring as that looks, I think we're onto something. Now this little yellow box might not look like much, but I wonder whether if I build it in at different levels and different sizes into the Mesa hillside using different complementary terracottas, then we could use the acacia wood to marry it all together so it looks cohesive, and then we might be able to build a Mesa village that looks awesome. So I think we'll start off with a palette that looks like that. Most of those terracottas are natural in the Mesa. There's a couple there that you got to dye yourself, but we'll mix them in anyway. We've got some acacia wood, we've got some other bits and pieces. Let's crack on. So I'm just going to start off first by blocking this little section in, because I don't want that hole there. Now whether I put a hole somewhere else, of course, is another matter entirely, but I definitely want to be putting some buildings here, so a hole's going to be in the way. That looks loads better. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to build up a frame of terracotta like this. It's going to be, how big? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to go 11, and I'm going to bring it in this way. I'm just going to build that up so as it's 4 or 5 high, and then we can start to build a few more of these squares in along, just to make sure that we've got enough ground level, because obviously the buildings at the top have got to be resting on something. It doesn't mean the building is going to be this big, it just means that it's going to be the frame for the rest of the mountain. Going to make sure I light it underneath temporarily, otherwise we'll end up with mobs spawning in here. I think that's more or less what I'm looking for. Now I need to put a few more of these boxes along the rest of the mountainside. So something like that I think is a good start. Yeah, I know it looks weird, but remember, when an artist draws a picture, they start to structure it with some straight lines that looks nothing like the end result. This is just the Minecraft equivalent of that. And what I need to do now is to bring in a little bit of height. So I'm going to start to separate out these top sections a little bit with some blocks that's going to give us some different layers in different colours. I think I'm pretty happy with that. I've left a few gaps between these blocks here for stairs. There's a big one there from the ground. There's another set there, and stairs can come up the side right there. I'm happy with that spacing. All of this area in the front, it's not going to be housing, it's going to be other villagey type stuff. And I think we're going to make a feature of this circular area here, using this area as a platform, and obviously this really lends itself to a bit of a harbour. I think we've got a bit of a job on. All of these blocks now are completely faceless. They've got to turn into houses. I'm not entirely sure I'm going to do it, if I'm honest, but we're going to give it a go, and this sounds like it's time for a time lapse. So sit back, relax, enjoy the music, and let's see if we can transform all of these in the Mesa into something that looks brilliant. and our work here is done. The village is finished and it is populated with loads of different villagers with different professions. And I'm going to be really honest, I'm so pleased with the way this has come out. I think this is a really gorgeous way to introduce your villagers to the Mesa. Obviously you'll need to ship them in, but once you've shipped them in, they can make a home here. And you know what? I reckon Mesa living could be quite cool. Make your base here as well, and you've got something that is going to make your friends so jealous. If you decide to have a go at a Mesa Village, whether it's in this style or in another style, do hit me up on Twitter or Instagram. I'd love to see what it is you've done. I'm really interested. And I'll look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.